Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tyler, and today we are going to be continuing the highly requested What If Goku Went Legendary Super Saiyan. Now, in the last part, we had the Z Fighters killing off the androids early, which resulted in Cell draining all the Z Fighters and killing Tien and Trunks in the process, and luckily Goku managed to wake up from the heart virus and tap into his legendary Super Saiyan form and eliminate the threat of Cell. While with this happening, Goku has survived the Cell saga, and Gohan never went Super Saiyan 2, and Trunks was the only one to discover a form that surpasses Super Saiyan. Now, with that quick recap out of the way, let's get right into part 3. Now, after the Cell arc, everyone knows that there is a 7-year gap of peacetime before the Buu saga. Now, we will say during this gap, the only main characters that are experiencing significant growth and strength are Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Gohan. Goku is training to try and maybe maintain his legendary Super Saiyan form. However, instead of trying to discover the form, he actually discovers his own version of Super Saiyan. It's the same suppressed Super Saiyan form / Super Saiyan A-type that Broly used against base Goku in the first film. Anyways, Goku has been training up that form, and he actually trained to utilize his legendary form. However, there are consequences to this, like whenever Goku uses this form, it burns his ki and nearly kills him from exhaustion. The reason why I did this is because I actually want Goku to suffer repercussions for when he uses the legendary form. That way this part wouldn't be just 2 minutes long. We then move to Piccolo and Vegeta, and they both have trained arguably even harder than Goku since they want to catch up after all. Now, I wouldn't say Vegeta and Piccolo are on the levels of Goku's full power, but they are a lot stronger than their main timeline counterpart. Vegeta is around the level of the Majin Vegeta in the original and would have already settled the score with Goku and knows that Goku is truly his superior, and he would have settled down and become a family man. Meanwhile, Piccolo would be above Dabura, but weaker than the likes of Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan. Speaking of Gohan, he would actually keep up with his training due to him wanting to protect his friends and make sure another Cell situation doesn't happen ever again. However, he doesn't want to train like a meathead Chad. He finds a balance between his schoolwork and fighting. On his free time after school, he would focus on his training, and I can see Goku and Piccolo joining Gohan in his training sessions, and I believe with the help of Goku and Piccolo, Gohan would discover the basic grades of Super Saiyan, including Super Saiyan 2. Now, this Gohan is just slightly under Vegeta in his Super Saiyan 2 state, but they are very relative in power. Just Vegeta has the slight edge. As for the other characters, more specifically Goten and Trunks, they still form a friendship, but Goten and Trunks are actually a lot closer in power, and I'm going to say for the sake of argument, Goten is slightly above Trunks in this timeline, thanks to Gohan and Goku always around him and influencing him to train. Another person that would be affected is Krillin, since there is no 18 and 18 wouldn't be alive, he wouldn't start a family, and would kind of just be vibing with Master Roshi at Kame House. Anyways, with that background info out of the way, let's get right into the Buu saga, starting with Gohan's school life. So the beginning of the Buu saga opens up somewhat similarly. Gohan still goes to school, meets Videl, becomes a great Saiyaman, gets caught, and trains with Videl like in the original. However, a difference here is that Goten would be focusing on training with Goku, so Gohan and Videl would actually be alone most of their time in their training and actually form a bond with one another. Goku would be alive for this tournament and is excited because he's down to scrap with Vegeta once again. Anyways, the Z Fighters would prepare for the tournament, and eventually the tournament would begin. Really, the preparations are kind of similar to the original, just Gohan would sometimes train with Videl and sometimes train with Goku and Piccolo and Goten. Anyways, the beginning of the tournament would go similarly. However, I believe when Piccolo fights Shin, Piccolo is actually stronger than Shin, but disqualifies due to Shin's reputation and, him being a Supreme Kai and all that. Everything up until Spopovich and Yamu just drained Gohan's energy and dipped to Babidi's hideout would stay the same. So Videl would still get bodied by Spopovich, Gohan would go Super Saiyan 2 against the Kibito Kai, yada yada yada. Everything amongst those lines before Spopovich and Yamu drained Gohan and dipped to Babidi's hideout, that stays the same. Anyways, the Z Fighters would then pursue after them, and when they do, they would encounter Dabura like in the original. Piccolo, being a lot stronger and faster, would be able to react to Dabura's spit and would dodge it. Krillin, however, still succumbs to Dabura, along with Kibito, since Dabura still claps Kibito. Anyways, Piccolo would then tag along with the 3 Saiyans and Shin to stop Babidi. Pui Pui would be their first enemy, and in this timeline, Piccolo steps up first because he wants to try and just get this out of the way. And so Piccolo proceeds to no-diff Pui Pui. Meanwhile, Vegeta is pissed that Piccolo stole his fight, and Vegeta is going to fight next, and so Vegeta would actually beat Yakon similar to how Goku did in canon. Now in this timeline, I'm going to say Goku will be the one to combat Dabura. Goku at first would combat Dabura in his base form, and he would then be pushed to use his suppressed Super Saiyan state, basically the Super Saiyan form that Broly used in the Broly movie, not the canon one, the non-canon one. Anyways, it wouldn't be enough to beat Dabura, and so Goku would have no other choice but to activate his legendary Super Saiyan form. Just from the activation process, Goku is already fatigued. Goku would then proceed to punch Dabura through the chest and just shoot a mouth beam, erasing the top part of Dabura's body. Dabura is just killed instantly. Goku would be losing his stamina, but at the same time his mind, and Goku's rage would just be building up constantly, but before he could try anything, the Supreme Kai and Piccolo and Gohan would all do their best to calm Goku down, and Goku would eventually snap out of it and revert to base form, heavily fatigued. Babidi actually almost took the chance to try and maybe cast a Majin spell on Goku, but right as he was about to do it, Goku just fell to his base form and now he's unconscious. So now there's no negativity running through him. Anyways, the Supreme Kai would then heal Goku, and Vegeta would then proceed to power up and tells the Supreme Kai to teleport everyone decently far from him. That way Vegeta can actually proceed with his plan. The Supreme Kai is actually confused, but Vegeta would just tell him to just do it and Shin would comply. He would teleport everyone decently far from where Babidi's hideout is, and since there is no one in Vegeta's way now, Vegeta proceeds to smirk and fly up through Babidi's hideout and shoots a final flash that consumes Babidi along with the entire hideout. So, the threat of Babidi is dealt with and there is no Majin Buu. Vegeta would then fly to the Supreme Kai and the others, and once they all meet up, the Supreme Kai would then say that they should get rid of the Majin Buu egg permanently, since it actually appears that Vegeta's final flash didn't take out Majin Buu's egg, and so they're gonna have to try do something now about it. And Goku would actually come up with an idea, and that he can use his legendary form to try and destroy the egg, since Goku's legendary form is the strongest thing that has come in the Z Fighters. He's stronger than Shin, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan. He's stronger than anyone. So Goku believes he's actually the best person for the job. It's almost like he was made for this. Anyway, Shin would proceed to teleport Goku to Majin Buu's egg, and with a legendary Super Saiyan enhanced Kamehameha, Goku completely atomizes Buu's egg. He would revert to his base form, and the threat of Majin Buu is no more. No Super Buu or any forms of him, no Kid Buu as well, which means no Oob and no Fat Buu. Now after this, the Z Fighters would then go back to their normal lives, and peace would be brought to the universe for 4 years, until the God of Destruction Beerus would awake from his nap. And really, the premise for Battle of Gods kind of stays the same, except for the fact that when Beerus looks through Whis' staff, he wouldn't see a Super Saiyan Goku, he would see a legendary Super Saiyan Goku. Beerus believes that this legendary Super Saiyan legend can probably be somewhat tied in with the Super Saiyan God legend, and so Beerus would then proceed to make his way to King Kai's planet where Goku is. Like in canon, Goku would then proceed to fight Beerus, and he would like to test the waters by actually using his suppressed Super Saiyan first. And Beerus is actually confused by this because this does not look like the power that he used against Frieza, and Beerus actually thinks that Goku might be holding back, so he questions Goku on it. Beerus would then question Goku about this power that he's using now and if he's holding back. Goku would then admit that he's actually holding back because the form that he used against Frieza is very hard for him to control and he loses stamina very fast. Beerus gets a little irritated and proceeds to punch Goku into the ground, dealing heavy amounts of damage. Beerus will then say if he doesn't show him this legendary power, he's destroying this planet. King Kai begins to get uneasy and Goku smirks and proceeds to power up. After this, he would fully emerge into the legendary Super Saiyan state, and he would proceed to charge at Beerus. Now, some of you are probably asking, does legendary Super Saiyan Goku do better than Super Saiyan God Goku? Well, not exactly, but he does much better than his Super Saiyan 3 counterpart. If you guys want a little bit more of a dissection into the multiplier of legendary Super Saiyan, you should probably check out Storm's video. Link in the description, by the way. Basically, in short terms, the Super Saiyan God multiplier is around a bare minimum of 20,000 times, while the legendary Super Saiyan form is at a multiplier of 10,000 times. So it is 2 times weaker than Super Saiyan God, but Goku still does give Beerus an impressive fight. And Beerus is satisfied, however, he still wants to try and get the Super Saiyan God. And Goku would then say, alright, I understand, you should probably ask people like Vegeta and Gohan, and they might know something about it. And Beerus would then proceed to go to Earth, and Goku would then say that they need to think of something fast in order to try and stop Beerus, because the legendary Super Saiyan form wasn't even enough to do anything. As that's happening, like in the original, Beerus would then pull up to Bulma's birthday party, and there's actually no Majin Buu to disrupt Beerus, but Beerus would actually challenge the Saiyans as he wants to see if any of them are the Super Saiyan God or any of them are at the level of Goku. Vegeta and Gohan here would actually work in unison with each other because they know that Beerus just alone would destroy them separately, but together they stand more of a chance. But even then, when they work in unison, it's still no hope and Beerus obliterates both of them. Not in obliterate as in completely turn into dust and atomize you, but just defeat him onto the ground, and Beerus is now bored and he's probably thinking about destroying the planet right about now. That is until Goku then finally arrives back on Earth, and Goku would then come up with a plan to basically use the Dragon Balls and ask Shenron about the Super Saiyan God. And they proceed to do that, and like in canon, Shenron would then say how they need 6 pure-hearted Saiyans to basically join arms, and the Super Saiyan God would then be born. Anyways, like in the original, the 5 Saiyans, that includes Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Goku himself, they would all join arms, and the Super Saiyan God would then be born. Or they think so, until it's actually revealed that Goku just got a power boost. But Goku with this power boost actually feels a lot more confident, and thinks that it might be enough to stop Beerus. At this point, remember, the Z Fighters did acknowledge that Goku did get somewhat of an increase, and I'm gonna actually say that this difference of an increase would actually be more than 2 times of a boost. The reason why I want to say that is because the difference between Legendary Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God is about a 2 times difference. So, with the 2 times power boost, Goku at this point is around the strength of his Super Saiyan God counterpart. So I believe Goku, with him discovering this new power and new confidence, he is ready to take on Beerus. And Goku would then say that he wouldn't mind giving up the Super Saiyan God form to Vegeta, and Vegeta would just happily take it. And so Videl would then reveal that she's actually pregnant, and like in the original, the 6 Saiyans would then join arms, but in this timeline, Vegeta would then emerge into the Super Saiyan God state. Vegeta and Goku both know that they're going to have to work together on this one, and Beerus would actually force them to work together because he wants more of a challenge, and he wants a hell of a fight. Anyways, Goku would then look at Vegeta with a smile, and he would proceed to power up into his legendary Super Saiyan state. Goku would then say, "We have no time, Vegeta. We need to finish this off now." Vegeta would then smirk, and he would then say, "I couldn't agree anymore." Vegeta and Goku in unison would then proceed to charge at Beerus, and Beerus would then block both of their punches. But the shockwaves that Goku and Vegeta produce with these punches are so massive that they send Beerus halfway across the planet. As the fight is going on, Goku and Vegeta are kind of thinking to themselves and are kind of mad at 2 things. Well, more specifically, they're mad at one thing individually, but Vegeta is mad at the fact that he didn't obtain this power on his own, and even when he obtained new power, Goku is still keeping up with him. Every time Vegeta proceeds to try and maybe take the charge against Beerus, Goku's always right next to him. Goku's not letting Vegeta surpass him any moment. Goku is kind of getting angry at the fact that the more and more rage he's building up and he uses it against Beerus, Beerus is just blocking it every single time. However, this is kind of a benefit to them at the same time, since Goku's getting more and more frustrated, which leads him to getting more and more mad, which equals more power. Anyways, the fight would actually go on for a little bit until Goku would revert to his base form due to his legendary Super Saiyan form draining all of his energy, and Vegeta would revert to his base form due to him absorbing it into his base form but without him noticing, kind of like how Goku did in canon. At around this point in the fight, they're currently in the cave where Beerus and Goku were fighting, and at that point, the 2 of them would actually be consumed by rubble, until Goku and Vegeta both snap, saying that they will not let Beerus destroy their world. Vegeta transforms into a Super Saiyan state, while Goku has a much different transformation / reaction. Goku would go into a state where it looks like his legendary Super Saiyan state, but his pupils are existent with a green color along with electricity surrounding him. It appears that he's actually in a ascended state of legendary Super Saiyan. That's what we're going to be calling it, not legendary Super Saiyan 2, since I think that's kind of corny, so it's actually called ascended legendary. But anyways, as Vegeta proceeds to try and charge at Beerus in his Super Saiyan state, Goku would already blitz towards Beerus and is just punching him through the clouds, and him and Beerus would actually take their fight up into space, and Beerus would then be forced to use his Supernova technique, which Goku would counteract with his new technique, the Omega Kamehameha, which is just a Kamehameha stacked with the Ascended Legendary transformation. Anyways, the Kamehameha would push back Beerus' Supernova, which would actually do some decent damage to Beerus, but it's not enough to defeat him. However, the Omega Kamehameha costed Goku every single ounce of his ki, and now he's slowly drifting in space in his fatigued state. Beerus would smile, and he would then say, "You Saiyans are quite interesting." And as he proceeds to say that, Vegeta in his Super Saiyan God form would come out of nowhere, and Vegeta would just proceed to launch the biggest final flash in history. However, it is not enough to defeat Beerus, but like how Goku used his Kamehameha, Vegeta would just revert to his base form, and now he's drifting in space along with Goku. Beerus will then grab Goku and Vegeta and land them quickly back on Earth so that they can live, and Goku and Vegeta are now alive, and Beerus will then announce that he's actually going to spare Earth. Now, Vegeta would actually go on to train with Beerus, since it actually makes sense in this timeline, since he's gotten the Super Saiyan God form, and he wants to try and train this form, and maybe even evolve this form. Now, I'm actually going to leave a poll up on the community tab for you guys to see if you guys want Goku to train on Beerus' world, because I really don't want Goku to have God Ki in this timeline. it would just be kind of weird and kind of corny, and it kind of made sense for Goku to actually train with him in the original since he actually discovered the Super Saiyan God, but since Goku gave it to Vegeta, I don't see it very likely for Goku to train with Beerus, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Even if Goku does train with Beerus and Whis, I'll probably think of something to not write in having Gaki, because it's just not fair for this verse, and we will probably cover all of Super in one part, which is Goku one-shotting everybody. But yeah, with that out of the way, guys, I'm going to leave this video off. Thank you all for watching, and if you're new, be sure to hit the subscribe button and consider hitting the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload. With that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like the video, comment, share with your friends, and be sure to go check out Latro Storm's video, link in the description. Another thing in the description is my boy's video, Deshawn/Rayshawn. Since they're both brothers, I'm just going to include them both. Basically, they both have a channel called Rash Plays, and they made a very good Hunter x Hunter video. I don't usually talk about Hunter x Hunter, but I know some of you do like Hunter x Hunter, and you guys want me to do Hunter x Hunter what ifs. So for you guys who actually like Hunter x Hunter, I know I'm saying Hunter x Hunter a lot, but please go check out their video. This is very important because they deserve so much more clout. Link in the description. Please check out both videos. And both videos, as in both the videos in the description. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to get up out of here. Peace out. Bye.